Konbanwa boosters, Eric here, and it's about time I did a video like this. Now, we are all familiar with the world of Wii Music haters, just like a dime a dozen nowadays, and they all suck. But I decided it's finally time for me to go after one of them and explain everything they got wrong in their review. And today, I have decided to choose Nathaniel Bandy. Why him first? Well, because his review has a lot of really bad, it's just a barrage of bad arguments, and I feel like most of the arguments that are in other videos can be found in this one too. So I feel like this is the best place to start. And I already know for a fact that somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're just a guy that's sitting in his living room talking about this," but just because someone has some flashy editing does not mean that they're right, and I'm here to prove that. So I've got all 38 or so of the arguments that he makes in that video, and we're going to debunk them one by one. Let's get started. Wii Music isn't really a game. It just introduces people to different instruments, and that's about it. Well, yeah, Wii Music is not exactly a game-style game. It's not the most, gamey, whatever you want to say. It's not like testing your limits as most games do, but not all video games have to be like that. I mean, one of the most popular games that I've ever played is Yume Nikki, and that game has no goal. I mean, yeah, you have to collect all the effects. That's what they're called. You have to collect all the effects so that you can unlock the ending. But the game is way more about experiencing the environments that you interact with, finding all the weird characters, finding the bizarre events. That's what the game's all about. With Wii Music, it's not about playing it for a high score. It's about just showing your artistic abilities in the form of music. It's like the Mario Paint of the Wii Music is basically the Mario Paint of the music world. And yeah, Mario Paint had a composer, but Wii Music is made to be easier than that, because as someone who does use a composer to try to make his own music in WarioWare DIY, I can tell you that Wii Music is a lot easier to do. And it also creates a lot better stuff as well. The box of the game says creative fun on the back, when the only fun that you'll have is chucking the game in the bin. Yeah, it's right there. Sorry about the glare. But I mean, Super Mario Galaxy 1 said that I was going to go on an epic adventure, and the only adventure I had was going to the local video game store to sell the game because I didn't like it. What's your point? Next, some guy on the back of the box does not want to play this. He's referring to this guy, and yeah, the advertisements might not have the best acting, but yeah, a poor advertisement does not make a poor game. We all know that. We all should know that. I mean, Crash Bandicoot 2, The Wrath of Cortex had some awful ads, but people still like the game because of that. So why is Wii Music any different? Next, to fully experience the drum sets, you need a Wii balance board, which I have right down here. Now, to be fair, you can have a lot more leverage with the drum sets if you do use the Wii Fit balance board, because for example, my Witch House genre is impossible to make without the use of the rock drums. I mean, yeah, you could use the basic rock drums, but it doesn't give the same feel, you know? But the truth is, all of the drum sets in the game can still be fully functional without the use of the drum mode. Even if, granted, you don't have as much freedom with the drum sets, they still all give a good beat that you can then use in any song you want. Next, due to the game using air instruments, it's impossible to feel what you're doing. And Skyward Sword had an air sword, and I couldn't feel what I was doing in there. Heck, the Wii Sports series has air everything. Air swords, air ping pong paddles, air tennis rackets. But I know what I'm doing there. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing with the tennis ones. I'm bad at the tennis ones, but I know what I'm doing with sword play. I beat Matt on my first try. It's just, the truth is, the Wii Music controls, they take a little bit of time getting used to. You can't just waltz into the game and immediately become the J-Pop music. You have to spend a little bit of time understanding how the controls work. And here, I'll even give an example of what you're doing. So, some of the most commonly complained about ones are the piano and guitar style ones. Well, imagine that when you're... Here, let me get up to show you this. When you are shaking the Wii remote to do what you're doing, you want to imagine that the note is playing the moment you bounce your hand back up. So like that. because when it does that, that's when the note plays. And another thing is that when it comes to these type of instruments, you don't want to have a flimsy wrist. You want to keep your wrist steady and do that essentially. I'm being a lot calmer than I expected myself to, but we're gonna get into some really bad stuff later. Next is, why is the conductor tiny? It's fiction. Are you familiar with what fiction is? Considering how you made this video, considering how you made your review, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Next, you can write your own songs. Exactly. You can write your own songs because this game isn't designed to test your limits. Instead, you simply take what's there and make what you want out of it, essentially. I mean, imagine if Mario Paint had a score system like, oh, you colored in that picture of Yoshi wrong. Here's a -1,000,000 points. That's not how the game is supposed to work. You don't just do exactly what it wants you to do. You take the base of what they give and turn it into your own thing. Same with Wii Music. Mario Paint is for art. Wii Music is for music. Simple as that. Next, why is there a button to quick travel to the Wii menu? Oh no! Convenience? I've never heard of such a thing. Man, my face is so red. I think I'm coming down with something, but that's not the point. The point is, why is this an argument? In fact, you know what? Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus, they have a quick travel to the main menu too. I don't think Nathaniel's gonna be complaining about that because they're not Wii Music. That's gonna be a recurring thing through this video. I swear to God. I can't hit plus or minus to scroll through the menus. You know, I'm not the type of person to talk down to someone else, especially, at least I don't want to be, but I have to do this. Can you find the D-pad? Where's the D-pad? Oh God, my headphones just fell on the floor. But yeah, you can't use the plus or minus buttons to go through the menus, but guess what? You can use the D-pad. Ain't that grand? And like, once again, the game we play, that doesn't have plus or minus scrolling through the menu compatibility either. So why is it only a bad thing when Wii Music doesn't have it? Because it's Wii Music and everyone wants to make fun of a game that doesn't deserve it. Let's just get through this. What's next? The game mostly consists of public domain tracks. Why is there not more licensed or Nintendo tracks? Well, if you want more licensed or Nintendo tracks and you have a homebrewed Wii, which I assume Nathaniel would, and even if you don't, it's really easy. You can install mods for the game. Granted, they're not part of the base game, but even still, there's plenty of songs in the game that there are plenty of mods that add extra songs. And also, if you don't like most of the songs, you don't have to play most of the songs. Yeah, you're going to have to play them at the beginning of the game to unlock more, but after you unlock more, you can just play those. I mean, look at the J-Pop music, for instance. Like, the 90% of the remixes he posted in his first year were of F-Zero, September, and Scarborough Fair. Granted, he did a few others, but that's about it. And I'm burning up. By holding up on the nunchuck, you can play double notes on piano-style instruments. Now, I'm assuming it's not the double note thing that we know for the guitar-style instruments, which is if you hold the down button, but instead, for the piano instruments, you can do that sort of ring kind of strum with most of the instruments. Not all of them do it. The handbell, dogsu, and katsu, and rapper don't do that, but most of them do that. And that's a complaint. Why? No, I'm serious. Why is that a bad thing? No answer, huh? Didn't expect it. Just dropped my nunchuck on the floor. The sweet stage reeks of Mario Party. And you're complaining? You're complaining? I swear, most of these do not make sense, but it actually gets worse. It genuinely gets worse. Hand clapping is not an instrument. Neither is a whistle nor a cheerleader. I played WarioWare DIY. You can have laughing men as an instrument. You can have crickets as an instrument. You can have a Yoshi as an instrument. Is he gonna complain about that? No, of course he's not, because it's not Wii music. He's not gonna complain about when another game does the exact same thing, because it doesn't get the views, and it's not a video that the funny Scotty Waddy ended up complaining about. Okay, next, the Morocco voice clip. Now, if you do not like the voice that the Morocco user has, and this might be a shock to you, don't use it. Simple as that. If you don't like the way an instrument sounds, nobody's forcing you to use it. Nobody wants you to. Nobody will need you to use it. Like, nobody's demanded that I use the dog suit. And I don't like the dog suit, but if you don't like the way an instrument sounds, just find another one. I feel like I'm having to talk really slowly with this, because like I feel like I'm actually talking to like a child. Because that's what it is. Next, the dog and cat suits are annoying. Once again, if you don't like the dog or cat suits, don't use them. If you don't like them, don't use them. Simple as that. Next, why isn't the note chart automatically on? Okay. This is the one that I'll give you all credit for. This is an actual flaw with the game. I feel like the note chart should have at least been hinted as to its existence, because I genuinely did not know the note chart even existed until I made until I already beat the first lesson, the basic rock lesson. So that's 1 point. That's like one out of 37. That makes sense. Obviously know what you're talking about. Next, Me Maestro only has 5 songs. Now, here's the thing. Me Maestro is not the main focus of the game. That's it. They shouldn't have like a billion songs to play in Me Maestro, because it's not the central focus of what the game's about. It'd be like if they... What's a good game for reference? I was thinking that has like a side thing. Oh yeah, Rhythm Heaven Fever. It's like complaining that Rhythm Heaven Fever only has 4 toy instruments, or the 4 or 5 endless micro games. That's not what the game is about. It's just a side thing that you can do on your own. And besides, you do unlock stuff if you play through all the Me Maestro minigames. So wouldn't it be better that there's not a lot to do? Next, Handbell Harmony only has 5 songs. Refer to what I just said. It's not the main focus of the game. Pitch Perfect makes finding the right answer too easy after you get it wrong. Tell that to any person in the comment section of a video with what's it called? The music room as a stage. Tell that to literally anyone who, because I didn't have trouble with it that much. I've never had trouble with Pitch Perfect, but there are tons of people who actually play this game who had so much trouble beating the last level of Pitch Perfect. Next, Pitch Perfect just drags on and on. Oh no, I have to spend 2 to 3 minutes guessing about pitch noises? Oh, the humanity! I seriously need to check if I have a cold or something. My face is so warm. Next, all 11 of the base level tutorials require TTLS, or Took It to a Little Star. Now, the thing is, if you don't like that, if you don't want to do all the 20 Little Star lessons, there are the Expand Your Style ones, which those ones never have 20 Little Star in them. Because you can do most of the you have to do one, but you then if you just want what am I trying to say? Actually, this next one will explain it. If you want to unlock everything in the game, you need to do all 11 basic lessons. All right, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. This is one of the most teeth-grinding, infuriating things I have ever heard. Wanna know why? This is a lie. This is Coyote's lie, isn't it? the truth is, unlike everything else that's been so far, that there has been so far, where like if you're stupid enough, you might think it's true. This one is actually just misinformation. Want to know how I know that? I own 2 copies of Wii Music, 2 different save data copies of Wii Music. One of them, I've completed all 38 tutorials in the game. Yes, even the drum ones. And on the other one, I've only completed like 10. You want to know how many tutorials you actually have to do to to get everything in the game? That's right, 3. You have to do the one at the very beginning of the game when you first boot it up. You know, the one where you learn how to play how the different instruments work, and you have to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star once or a few times. You have to do the basic rock lesson, and you have to do the advanced rock lesson. That is it. I am sick and tired of people claiming that you have to do all of the basic lessons, because that is outright not true. I don't even, I know a lot of people have complained about this, but I don't even think it's a regional difference, because I live in a state that borders Scots. I live in a state that borders Scott the Waz's state, and we have the same game, but I didn't have to do that much. So once again, to reiterate, in case you somehow missed it, you do the one at the beginning of the game, you do both rock lessons, and that's it. No more. The pop, march, jazz, classical, Hawaiian, reggae, Latin, tango, Japanese electronic, all optional. You don't have to do a single one of them. You don't have to do any. You could do all of them like I did, or you could do none of them like some have. Because that's how it works. If you want to learn how to do a pop style, then take the pop lessons. If you don't, that's alright. If you want to learn how to do a jazz style, do the jazz lessons. If you don't, that's alright. If you want to learn how to do an electronic style, do the electronic style. If you don't, that's alright. But don't think you have even any level of respectability when you go around and tell people that you have to do all of them. Because you are actively spreading misinformation on the internet. Yes, you are literally that meme. Me when I spread misinformation on the internet purposefully. That's you. That is you. You have spread misinformation on the internet, and you have paraded yourself around as this sort of, oh, I'm a high and mighty respectable reviewer. No, you are not. You are a fool, a mere jester of the courtroom, and people think you are actually some god. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of this type of mentality. I'm tired of people actually harassing me because I think people like Nathaniel Bandy or Scott the Waz or anyone else has made a false review. Because honestly, y'all have done bad. Let's move on. There are 11 lessons to expand your style. Once again, those are completely optional. You didn't even do them in the review. But if you don't want to listen to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star over and over again, guess what? You can do those. Yes, you can do those. Granted, they're a tiny bit harder if you suck severely, but you can do them because they don't have Twinkle Little Star. I'll even list off what songs I have right now. The rock has Do Re Mi. Pop has My Grandfather's Clock. March has The Flea Waltz. Jazz has Daydream Believer. Classical has Bridal Chorus. Hawaiian has Sur le Pont d'Avignon. Reggae has La Bamba. Latin has From the New World. Tango has Swan Lake. Japanese has Sakura Sakura. And electronic has Farajaka. Yeah, most of those songs are from the public domain too, but it's not Twinkle Twinkle Star, you're a little piece of kryptonite. Next, you can do a half dab with the hand clap if you hold down the B buttons. When did this game come out exactly? Let me look it up. When did Wii Music come out? My internet's slow. October 20th, 2008. Yeah, I don't think that one checks out, bro. I don't think that one checks out. Next up, Why are the hands so large? Because do you really think the little ball hands that the Mii's normally have would make sense for hand clapping? No. Sure, it looks weird, but it makes sense. There's multiplayer. I have never heard this level of stupidity before. Actually, I did. It was with the tutorial complaint. But I have never heard somebody complain that a game just has multiplayer. Not that it's a bad multiplayer, the fact that it has multiplayer. I mean, granted, multiplayer in the game is not that good. Wii Music is best as a solo player experience. But he didn't say that. He just said, multiplayer, why not there? Next, why are all the songs so short? Because unlike something like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, you don't do the song once. You actually, because of how the game is constructed, how you're supposed to remake the song in your own style, you basically have to do all the song 6 times over, not including restarts. You have to do all 6 parts to complete an entire song. That's why they're so short. Granted, it would be kind of fun if they had like a song that went on for 3 or 4 minutes, but honestly, if that happened, I know for a fact someone would complain about it. Wii Music haters cannot be appeased. That's what I've learned. Violins and cellos are hard to use. They do take a little bit more time getting used to, I will admit that. But even still, they are doable. They are a doable instrument. Yeah, they're weird, but you can use them. Next, the cowbell fill, or that like. Once again, if you don't like it, don't use it. Simple as that. Not that hard to understand, is it? Actually, considering it's Nathaniel, it's obvious that it's hard to understand. Next, trees grow so fast in the game. And you're complaining? If only trees were grow this fast in real life. Yeah, that would be great too, but that doesn't mean that Wii Music sucks because of it. Next, why is there no Space Odyssey by David Bowie, or Space Oddity? How long is that song exactly? Let me check. How long is Space Oddity? About 5 minutes. That is not. That would take. Granted, it would take a little bit of cutting. Granted, if you cut the song down a little bit, it could fit in Wii Music, but even still, it's only 50 songs in the game. They can't have every single song in existence in it. That'd be impossible. Next, rapping is not an instrument. Once more, if you don't like the instrument, don't use it. Simple as that. Next, the F-Zero rendition is so bad it shouldn't be in the game. Now, here's the thing. Have you ever considered that you just suck? That's the truth. The song is one of the hardest songs in the game, but that doesn't mean it's impossible or so bad it shouldn't be in the game. I mean, you were screwing up Twinkle Twinkle Star just 5 minutes ago, and you think you can do one of the hardest songs in the game? This is why they didn't have more Nintendo tracks. If they had more Nintendo tracks, you would be complaining this exact argument more and more and more. You can't be appeased. That's the problem. Nintendo has done absolutely everything they could to make a great game, and you just want to complain. You're no better than Genshin Twitter. I'll say it. I'll say that right now. You are no better than Genshin Twitter. Granted, you didn't dox anyone for having a different opinion, but you are actively spreading misinformation, and that's horrible. We're almost done. So many of the instruments blend together and don't play differently. Can you tell the difference between an accordion and an electric bass? Considering it's you, I don't think that's the case. I just rhymed there, my bad. But yeah, But yeah, there are so many different instruments in the game, and they obviously all play differently. Well, granted, a lot of them have the exact same motions, but is that not for the better? Is it not better that you don't have to learn a brand new playing style for every single one of the 66 instruments that are in the game? Is that not better? And either now, I don't know if you mean that they all sound similar or they play similar, but no matter what you meant, that argument is garbage. The singers sound like chipmunks. Okay? Once again, if you don't like the way that the instrument sounds, don't use it. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, if you want, yeah, it might suck not having vocals in the game, but you can just use any other instrument to replace the singers. Simple as that. Because, the game is basically designed for instrumental music only. There's no vocals for any of the songs. So, just use whatever sounds better. Use a saxophone, use a trumpet, use an accordion, use anything. If you don't like the way an instrument sounds, just take it out, put something better in. Simple as that. And lastly, the whole Robbie guy playing the drums. I knew we weren't going to be able to get through this without E3 being brought up. Now, look, the E3 presentation, it wasn't that good. Even we music fans don't think it was that good. But that doesn't mean the game is bad because of it. Simple as that. I'm serious. I genuinely don't think I've ever seen another video game get so much hate just because of advertisements. Like, seriously. Genuinely, the E3 presentation has become practically synonymous with the game itself. And people think, oh, the presentation was bad because I wanted to see Mario and Luigi and Link and Zelda. But I got Wii Music, so that means I have to complain about the game. You wanna know how many Wii Music haters I've seen complain about the E3 presentation? All of them. You wanna know how many Wii Music fans I have seen even mention it? Like, one or two. And I know a lot. So, that finishes my entire extravaganza of explaining everything wrong with the Nathaniel Bandy review of Wii Music. 38 arguments, 1 actually makes sense, 37 false points. You sit on an ivory tower of 0 hoes, Nathaniel Bandy. You sit on an ivory tower of zero hoes. Well, I guess if this video does well, I'll make another one for another YouTuber. I was planning on being a little harsher in this video, but I don't have the strength for it. And you know what? If I can actually convince someone that what these people are saying is wrong, I'm happy. So with that, thanks for watching, and see you soon.